Hello and welcome to Head and Shoulders, where we cover athletes' performances and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. So thus far, I've been covering literally 100% of the women's side. We haven't really covered the men's side just yet, and the reason being is that as far as the 100, 100 is a starlight event. I did cover the 10K. Obviously, the views were low, but this is about growing the sport. So I'm just going to cover something that is great no matter where the views are going. So if you guys would definitely check out that video on the 10K. But with that being said, Usain Bolt kind of spoiled us for quick times. So it's kind of hard to uh, cover some of that because the times aren't as, and I got to, like I always do, is name recognition. So we put the athlete right there that we're talking about. So Usain Bolt, he's kind of spoiled us for choice when it comes to athletic times and performances. And while Trayvon Bromell has run that 9.77, Usain Bolt just like really just pushed that barrier. So if we could get people running 9.7 low and more, then I think it'll be easier for me to cover that. But I'm going to cover this anyway because Justin Gatlin, we got to appreciate people while they're here. Justin Gatlin is one of the greatest of all time as far as sprinters. Obviously, Usain Bolt is well ahead of that. But the length of time that Gatlin has been in the game, we got to cover it. So that's where I'm covering this here because he's one of those. I will be covering Allison Felix for those that have been asking about it. So yeah, so without further ado, let's cover, will Trayvon Bromell win the USA Trials 100? My opinion, yes. This guy is undefeated this season in the 100-meter dash. Undefeated. He's been winning it every which way, no matter the time. And I think it's going to be a little bit harder for Justin Gatlin to actually qualify. Let's look at the times here before we go into their stats about the ranking list. We got Curly, who did beat Justin Gatlin earlier this year. He dropped the 400 and he just wants to focus on the 1 and the 2. So he's like, he thinks that is his best way to gain a gold. Well, I think he should have still stayed in the 400. Hey, you know what? If that's what him, his coach, the managers, or whoever is around him is thinking, hey, I think best of luck to him, right? So, but we got to go down to number 13 on the list. 13 on the list. There's Justin Gatlin. Obviously, his coach has been with him. They know how to prepare for these championships. And I believe that he's going to be able to show out and he's going to make it through to the finals. I'll be surprised if he doesn't make the finals of the USA Trials. I will be utterly surprised if he doesn't. Now, what I think is going to happen is that he gets second or third. At worst case scenario, he's an alternate on the 4x1. But I look at him as second or third. Ronnie Baker, I would think that that's where he has the most trouble with, but obviously Curly has done his damage. We're going to see later today, because those are the trials of the 100-meter dash. I might have to do an updated list if Justin Gatlin is out in the first round or something happens to Trayvon Bromell. I'm only focusing on these two. I'm not talking about anybody else. All right. So, and the reason being is Justin Gatlin, he's one of the greatest sprinters of all time, and with the most history with him right now on the men's side in the 100, and then Trayvon Bromell, which is the world leader right now. So we got to cover those two. Everybody else in between, we can cover them in another video, but right now we're going to cover these two. So let's look at the results first here. Although that's the 60. I'm like, wait a minute. I already know this guy's undefeated in the 100. Here we go. So here he is from his first 100-meter race of the year. He hasn't made a step wrong as far as what's going on, as far as his placing. First, all the way through from semis, his heats, and the finals, right? So he's gotten every single race correct this year. With the momentum of how these things work in track and field, momentum can kind of momentum carries people through. You see a consistent performer, just like Sha'Carri Richardson. She's likely to come away with some kind of medal or something this year. And I mean, overwhelming favorite to win the 100-meter dash on the women's side at the USA trials. Anybody that's talking against that, I don't know what you're smoking. You're smoking a good crack pipe. All right. But as far as that, she's there. Now, when it comes to internationally, that's a different question. It's more muddy. I think Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is the clear favorite here. I think she's the favorite here. So with that being said, when we see consistency, just like a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, even before she was able to run the 1063, she showed the consistency in her past, even being injured and still getting a bronze medal. Remember that. So same thing, Trayvon Bromell. He's come back from injury. He's come back. He's run a 9.77 blazing time. Not to take away from that, even though I said the comment about Bolt earlier. Bolt has just pushed it in a new stratosphere. But 9.77 is no slouch in time. I think it's his championship to lose. That's what I believe it's so. And obviously, Justin Gatlin, let's cover him. He's in this as his final championship. Here we go with the Olympic interview. He thought, of course, it was before COVID-19, but he was saying that this would have been his last championship had this been in 2020. And he wants to be on the top of the podium. He wants to get that gold. But obviously, he knows his age and everything. So he's like, if it ends well, if it doesn't, he just want to leave his spike on an Olympic year, on an Olympic cycle. That's what he wants to do. So he's been to so many Olympic Games from Athens all the way to trying to make Tokyo. So you got one, Athens, you got Beijing, you got London, and you got Rio. That's 4 Olympic Games. It's looking like an Allison Felix as far as that is concerned. And we got to bring up Allison Felix since I name called her. So with that being said, let's look at his results so far. He's gotten a second place here to Fred Curley. He got a second. Oh, no, that was in the prelims. He actually won. He almost actually lost in this race in Japan. And one of the Japanese athletes got out on him. And he came back and he obviously, with his strength and everything, he came away with the win. He finished second here as well. So I think he's got it in him. I think his coaches got everything straight. They know how to peak correctly. I don't think that he has a chance at all to win. Getting second or third, definitely. And there's I peg him more of getting a third than I get him to second because of Baker, and he's already lost against Curley. But once again, he's got the experience, he's got the coaching, he's got everything there. What do you guys think? Definitely leave a comment, like, subscribe. We're looking for 1,000 subscribers so we can start having this live stream. We'll be covering athletes like this all the time. And oh yeah, and a quick note, do you all notice that certain athletes wear watches? I don't know if this is a heart monitor or something that they have on their arm, but I would think the distance athletes wear watches with them, although these are, oh yeah, never mind. That could just be their sponsors with that, because obviously they have sponsors and everything. Because that don't look like an athletic watch to me if I look at it. I don't know what type of watch that is. You guys tell me. But yeah, that could just be their sponsors. But I do notice that I'm like, okay, certain athletes have watches, but that once again could be their sponsor. So leave a comment, a like, subscribe. If you disagree with anything that I said, comment down below too, and share. We want to get this content out to new people. We want to get people here that aren't into track and field, get interested in track and field, or have at least a shallow representation of what they can see. I don't know why this image of Bromell is rasterized like that, but definitely let's get that something that's up there. Will Trayvon Bromell win the USA Trials 100-meter dash? I'm gonna give him a 9 out of 10. Yes, 9 out of 10. Yes, like that one time out of 10 slips out the blocks or something like that, where he doesn't, or he just don't even make it through, or something like that, pulls up. But I just cannot see Trayvon Bromell losing at the USA Trials 100. He just laid his feet very perfectly this entire season. So with that being said, I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.